Welcome to Sports Connection. I'm Darrin Joins, Williamson County Schools Athletic Director. As always, my co-host, Mr. Tate Mathews. Tate, you do not have the mask of shame on this week.
I'm back, baby. Redeemed myself.
You did. It's relative.
I'm still trailing, but I'm sure you'll get to it.
Tate?
No mask for this show.
Well, that's not because we don't think it's important, because it is, but we're distanced.
We're socially distanced.
Absolutely. Fall sports in full swing, not only football, but the other sports as well. And we've got some big games coming up this week, too.
Can't wait. There's a new number 2 on the block, I think. Definitely in the standings, but maybe they have, I think that's where they're going to end up. There's a new number 2 on the block in 11 AAA volleyball, but they still have one more hill they got to climb. Is that this week?
You know, I'm not sure. I hate to say I don't know, but
It's
I don't know for sure. It is soon. And you're referring to Summit.
The Lady Spartans.
3-1 win over Ravenwood last week. Destiny Cherry, 19 kills. They're now 7-1, 3-0 in the league. Hey, and Ravenwood's kind of been pretty solid number 2 the past several years. So that's a good win, 3-1 over Ravenwood.
Real good win, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's a changing of the guard right there for 2020. So, yeah, I think they're clearly the number 2. Can't wait to see what happens when they see the number 1. But kind of in the back of my mind, that Nolensville is, Brentwood's something, man.
Well, you get the sense, too, because they did it against Nolensville, that there's that pep talk before there. You said there probably was, and I think you're probably right. Like, okay, they think they're ready for the big time, and then they laid the smack down on them. So, you know, who knows what happens. Now, Summit's got good size, too.
Oh, yeah.
Their size gives them a chance to maybe compete in that one. We'll see, though.
They've been building towards this. That's the cool thing. It's kind of like Alabama in football. When you're in the same conference with the top dog, you know what you're trying to get to, right? So they're kind of built that way, right?
No doubt. And if you can finish number 2, that has traditionally meant
you're going to Murfreesboro.
That's right. Spot in the state tournament with the chance to play for a third time, maybe. Or for a third,
fourth.
Final. Well, that's right. District.
Yeah.
Region. Not sectional. State. So it'll be 3. 3, right?
Can't remember.
No, it's 3. It's 3. It's definitely 3. Independence in volleyball defeated Centennial 3-0. Brentwood, led by Gateway Tire Female Athlete of the Week, Shay Eggleston, defeats Page 3-0 also. And again, talking about Brentwood and Summit, both 3-0 in league play. Soccer, Ravenwood with an impressive 4-1 win over Hendersonville. We always talk about Hendersonville being a not really across town, but across Nashville power, Hendersonville High School, but a 4-0 win. And then Franklin with the win over Brentwood 6-4. I thought this was kind of cool. It was 4-all, and then the sister act of Franklin High School. Margaret and Anna DeFranco both with goals to secure a 6-4 win. And what a high-scoring game.
I was about to say that, yeah.
That's pretty high scoring there, 6-4, so big win for Franklin. Independence with a 5-2 win over a much-improved Centennial team.
Correct. Yeah, and one, the DeFranco sisters, that is very cool. 2, that's a high-scoring game. It's a really high-scoring game between 2 quality programs. You know, you might see that when one's really good and the other one's not so good. But 6-4 between 2 teams that could end up in the state tournament, that's a lot of scoring.
A lot of scoring.
That one must have been fun to be at.
Our cross-country information for the week is actually this week's Joins Gym. Now, we may have mentioned this last week, but this is not the gym part. So it's moved to Saunders Ferry, the state meet house. The gym is this, 49 years. It was at Steeplechase, and they've now moved it to Saunders Ferry. And why are they doing that, Tate?
I'm assuming Mayor Cooper.
Yes, because they're...
You didn't know I was going to go there with it, did you? I mean, let's just call it what it is.
Well, because Davidson, it's so...
That's Mayor Cooper.
You know, and I don't even think about Steeplechase being in Davidson County, really. Just right over the line,
right on the line, yeah.
Do they run part of the meet on the Williamson County side and part on the...
I don't think it gets...
Or is it all over the line?
You know, I don't... It starts on the Davidson line, over where the... I'm sure you've been to a horse race before.
I've been to the state.
Big horse. Well, you're from Kentucky, man. You know, hey, this has nothing to do with
Listen, we laugh. We laugh at Steeplechase compared to Kentucky Derby. I mean, it's cool, but it's like, it's playtime.
It's a joke.
compared to the Derby.
It's like not even double. Is it single A ball compared to
Well,
Cleveland
let's put it this way. if the Derby is the champion,
Let's say Keeneland is AAA ball.
they're not even good enough to be second place, is what I'm saying. Nothing against our steeplechase folks, but come on now.
No, I get it. Hey, man.
Kentucky Oaks has now turned out to be probably not as big as the Derby, but they'll have over 100,000 fans for that on Friday.
Wow.
Not this year, obviously.
Right.
Because
2021.
2021, it'll be back.
Back to your question. It starts on the Davidson County side, so I don't know that it makes it over to Williamson County. But again, sad. Great for Saunders Ferry, great for Sumner County, but 49 years, sad, man. Sad. You
Hopefully
know me,
it
I'm not. It's kind of the same thing that the Metro schools football teams are in. So you're always, I know you are. You're always grateful of the leadership in Williamson County.
Absolutely.
Watching that makes you even more grateful of the leadership in Williamson County.
Well, too bad for those kids, and we've talked about that with, they need an opportunity to play and be a part of something bigger than themselves. Everybody needs that, but you hate it for those kids for sure.
I hate it for those kids, and every week as you see this, fingers crossed that we keep having the success that we are. But here we are. Let's be honest. We're going into week 4 of volleyball. Well, maybe week 5 of volleyball, soccer, and week 4 of football, and we've had a few, but got to be pretty pleased with the way it's going.
It's going pretty well. I think we're doing what's right. We're having some hiccups here or there, but I think for the most part it's gone really, really well. And I'll say this, and I'm obviously biased too, but in talking to some reporters locally, they've said when they go different places, by far, we're doing the best job.
That's cool.
So kudos to our folks.
Hey, let
up
me
there
ask
in
you real
schools.
quick. I know we got to move on, but so what does that mean? So let's say they go up. Well, they are going up there. So say Saunders Ferry knocks it out of the park. Whoever runs that does a great job with it. Do they keep it?
That's a great question.
I mean,
it'd be hard to get it from them, I think, especially if we're in a situation where it still feels up in the air. Hopefully it won't by that time, but who knows if it was a 1 year. I don't know if it was a 1 year, 2 year. I don't know what kind of commitment it was, but I don't know. I hope it comes back.
Yeah.
Nothing else, so I don't have to drive as far to go to the state meet.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk football now. WCTV game of the week, Independence 35, Centennial 14. And a man who is now making himself, there's an argument he could be the best quarterback in the league or in the county and only played 2 games. Jackson Campbell, 262 of Independence's 310 yards, 4 touchdowns passing and only 1 interception. And speaking of Mr. Campbell, let's take a look at this week's play of the week.
So many different weapons that Campbell can look to. A bunch of size out there, spread out there for the Eagles receiving corps. Going to go to him right now.
They bring him on the blitz on that corner and goes to the corner, and this time again,
goodness gracious.
Fantastic catch.
What an absolute dime there by Campbell, Michael. I tell you what here, you see those quarterbacks doing the drills in the back corner of the end zone with the trash can? That's what Jackson Campbell's doing right here. And just putting it perfectly right where Morikawa can catch it and just in the breadbasket. And that is just textbook play there by the Eagles offense.
Well, yeah, we've talked about him since the beginning. I love this guy. All-State last year as a DB, and he would have been an all. Really, what that meant was he was All-State as wide receiver, but they had too many guys to get on there, and they knew they had to get him on there somewhere. And he's just, I love him. 4 passing touchdowns, 262 of his 310 yards, and really he's most dangerous with his feet. So you're right. I love him. Calvin Wilson, 4 receptions, 110 yards, and 3 touchdowns, kind of taking his place as the top target. I think he's only his second game. He's only going to get better and better. I love this kid. And talking to other coaches that are getting ready for him,
Good luck.
They think he's really good.
You talk about your favorite school, Tennessee, wide receiver U. I think we're turning into QB conference.
Holy smokes!
We lost some guys, but
think
now,
about. We lost Brian Garcia. We lost Cade Walker. We might be better. Ethan Cash. We might be better this year at quarterback than we were last year.
Maybe. Trevor Andrews, obviously, Ravenwood, Mr. Campbell, Connor Bevan. Playing really well at Franklin.
Mr. 2 weeks ago, 367.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
It's incredible. Independence, 4 receptions, 110 yards, 3 touchdowns for Calvin Wilson. They were up 35 early in the third quarter. Centennial hangs in there. Cannon Plowman, I thought this was impressive. 4 for 5 passing, 39 yards, 8 carries for 23 yards, and 3 receptions for 14 yards. So Mr. Plowman doing a good job there for Centennial. And Josh Forsey, 62 yards on 11 carries. Final score again, 35-14.
Yeah, and you're right. That's a great performance by Cannon. Competitor. He's the kind of kid you want. Coach Kreisky would tell you. He's there. You know, he's working hard every day, and glad to see him do that. And, you know, Centennial's just got to keep their head up. They've played 3 really good football teams. I know that's not what they want to hear, but Ravenwood's really good. I'm telling you, I think this Independence team, their one loss was a shootout to who might be the best 5A team in the state, and then Smyrna, who I think is better than people think they are. So
led every second, but the last 22. And then, but the thing I guess that's scary is there was no Keaton Wade. So you think about Summit.
that's true.
going next level. But no, that's Independence is good.
They're good.
They're really
and
good.
They're going to score points, and so, you know, Centennial just needs to keep plugging. And but I think they are. Guys like Cannon Plowman, they're going to keep showing up and getting better.
Big story out of Fairview. Obviously, the game wasn't in doubt. 44-6 win over Cheatham County. We're calling this the real 100th win
Yes.
For Coach Hughes. And I talked to him on Saturday. By the way, ranked number 5 in the latest AP poll, well-deserved. And I'll tell you this now. I know I keep saying this. Would it be Covington? Will we match up with Covington maybe in the semis? But I think there's a real shot for at least the semifinals for the Yellow Jackets this year.
Boy, how cool would it be if they got to Cookeville and they were the home team and got to wear the yellows? Would that be awesome?
That would be sweet.
Yeah, I think in the past it's been Covington. I think that's who it would be this year. But yeah, I think there's a real chance at it, and that'd be awesome. There's a part of me that wants to beat one of those metro schools to get there to win that game to go to Cookeville, but whatever. Yeah, I think you got to have them penciled in for sure. And congratulations, 100 wins. That's a big deal, man.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. I was teasing Coach Hughes about the real 100s being the East Hickman game, and he said, "Oh yeah, I want to put that on something and put the final score 1-0." Because that's like the official score.
Oakland beat somebody that 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Somebody would find that in the Fairview Trophy case 200 years from now and be like, "Oh, they used to have 1-pointers."
Well, I mean, how are you going to put the ball up there 1-0 in snappies to commemorate it?
No, you can't do that.
It's got to be 44-6 over Cheatham County.
So do you put win 100 or do you just say 101? Just put
I say
101.
100, whatever.
Franklin 21, Ravenwood 42. Ravenwood raced out to a 28-0 lead. You know, Franklin did. They fought back. They got it down to 28-14 in the third quarter and actually had Ravenwood in their own territory, 3rd and 17. Pass interference, which is a 15-yard penalty.
Yep.
It's 4th and 2 around midfield, and give Coach Daniels credit. He goes for it, and they get it. Of course, you know, our man Trevor Andrews, who we talked about earlier, he took care of business. I mean, it's pretty impressive. You listen to his stats here. 16 for 24, 310 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And I thought this was just as impressive. 20 carries for 123 yards. If my math is right, that's 433 yards of offense. His numbers are gaudy.
Gaudy. Did he play all 4 quarters? You probably don't know.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
Well, that's the first game he's done that. And so, yeah, there's so many things that go around it. 20 carries in 6A football, that's a lot. Now, he's built different, and they knew that's how they were going to do it. It's like Cade. He moves the chains. 4th and 2. I wasn't there. What did they run? Do you know? Did they run him?
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Of course.
They know.
Here I come.
We're going to get 2 yards. We're going to get an extra blocker. We're going to play fake it, you know. And we think we can get 2 yards with him. And normally they do, but he accounts for 44 snaps, you know. And I said it on my show Saturday. I think he's going to be a Mr. Football semifinalist at worst. I think that's how good of a year he's going to have.
Well, I think a couple things happen here. When you're in 6A from this county, and really any of the divisions, and you're the dominant or one of the dominant teams, whoever's got the best stats offensively is probably going to be.
But his stats are they're
They're
Madden-esque.
They're crazy.
And that's amazing too. This is his first year as quarterback. 5 touchdowns. 5. You lost your best receiver in Reggie Mason Andrew Mason, Reggie's son. You know, it's pretty cool. And I think that Franklin, because that was against their ones. So they were down 28-0. Franklin made a comeback of it. But that's that Ravenwood, man. When they get on you, it's tough.
They get
really
it rolling.
tough.
Brenningstool, Lee Millette, 2 touchdowns each. Also Brendan Dickinson with a touchdown receiving. Justin Smitherman, touchdown rushing. For Franklin, Connor Bevan, 144 yards passing, and Carson Repass. 3 touchdowns receiving. He made some circus catches. That's a great athlete, man.
It is, and that's become a heck of a tandem right there. We've got some good tandems developing through the year,
No doubt.
through the season so far, and that's a really good one.
Ravenwood, 472 yards of offense. Franklin, only 237. And what makes that even maybe more impressive is Ravenwood was playing without linebackers Junior Colson and Damon Andrews. Hopefully they'll be back playing this week, but that really makes that impressive when you're saying only 237 yards and those 2 guys don't play.
Oh, yeah. Junior Colson's he's a dude. And Coach Daniels was telling us the story about the kickoff. I can't wait for this. So he's been on him since last year. He finally let him do it, and he said, okay, here's the deal. Do you know this?
I don't know this.
He said, here's
I knew
the
it
deal.
was his first time.
I'm going to let you return it. 1. If you take it back, I'll let you return another one. If not, it's over. Well, he took it back 2 weeks ago. So I guess that means he's going to get to return a kick against Pulaski Academy. Can you imagine coming downfield full speed? More than likely in high school, you weigh about 158 pounds if you're on that. And that cat's coming at you with a full head of steam. Shoot. I'd be trying to find a blade of grass to trip over him.
If he keeps returning kickoffs, we won't have kickoffs anymore. It'll be like, all right, everybody start on the 20. Yeah. We can't be doing this anymore. All right, Nowensville 30, Springfield 14. First region game, first region win of the year for Nowensville. The Knights defense held Spring Hill to only 141 yards of offense. Our man, Samson Johnson, 2 rushing touchdowns.
I was 1 short. I said he'd have 3.
Yes, you did. I forgot about that.
I wonder, though, did they pull him? I need to talk to Coach Derrick about this. He kind of made me look bad. But not to correct you, but I know what you did. Your Sumner County roots came out in you. You said Springfield. Spring Hill.
Did I say Springfield?
Yeah. But that's okay.
That's Robertson County.
I know, but when
it's
you were
close.
up there around it, yeah. Samson Johnson, 2 touchdowns. Ryder Gallardi, a touchdown and then a pass to Gabe Skipper. That's what we want. That's what we need. We need a good balance. Ryder needs to be about 50-50. Samson on track. And Nolan, don't let that Brentwood score fool you. Nolensville's a good football team.
No doubt about that. Page 13 at Shelbyville this past week, 29. First region game. It was a matchup of last year's top 2 teams. They're probably not the top 2 this year. And if you look at the stats on that game, it's really closer than the score. First downs, 18-17 Shelbyville. Total yards, 301, 268 Shelbyville. Total plays, which I'm sure Coach Rathbone liked this, 57-52 Page. The difference, even though he played a pretty solid game, 3 interceptions by sophomore Jake McNamara, who's playing really well, by the way.
Oh, 100%. And by the way, that was really good stuff. I'm impressed with that.
Thank you.
That was good. That's what happens.
I do my research, man.
No, that was really good. That's what happens when you have a sophomore quarterback throwing the ball 41 times against a good program. You know, I mean, it's part of it.
229 yards on that 24 for 41, 2 touchdowns. He also had 13 carries for 33 yards. Connor Gist, 8 for 58 for the receivers. Easton Snyder, 7 receptions, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Michael Mayer, 4 receptions, 56 yards, 1 touchdown. Summit, 35. And you called this. You called this. You get the sense, even by reading about it, that it was a statement. It's probably going to end up, by the way, being 1 and 2 in that region, right? If that's the case, there's quite a bit of difference between number 1 and number 2. They dominated this game.
Yep. Destin Wade, 4 rushing touchdowns, 121 yards and 21 carries. I think he only had 3 pass attempts. So that tells you this game was over really early. And so he might have played in the 3rd. No way he played in the 4th. 4 rushing touchdowns. I mean, it just Summit's they're becoming a program, man.
No doubt.
And you're right. This was a statement game. Not being ugly, but let's let them know. I think there were some people that were thinking Columbia had a chance in this thing. Summit got after them, and not to beat a dead horse. The dude, the dog at linebacker and tailback didn't play either.
Number 2 in the latest AP poll, John Dippold, 93 yards on 13 rushes and a touchdown, a couple interceptions for Jacob Turner and Austin Gruters. And this stat, to me, when I looked at this, I was like, whoa. Rushing yards, Summit 321, Columbia 22.
What's more impressive to you?
Gosh, that's impressive.
Which one's more impressive, the 321 or the 22?
22.
I think the 22 is.
22. No doubt
Playing
about
good
it.
defense.
Well, and the thing about Summit, too, and Coach Coleman with it, how do you prepare? So okay, let's just load the box. We're going to make him throw. Okay. Then Brady Pierce is out there snagging balls.
No, that's
they're
the
tough to
problem with a
defend.
guy like that, yeah.
And then you got Coach Melton running the defense, doing a great job. I'm telling you, Summit, like you said, they're rolling.
And don't forget now, one, Destin's a great athlete. What allows him to do that is they got 5 guys up front, 6 guys up front when they got the tight end there that are protecting him and let him extend plays with his feet. But yeah, you don't. Take away the run, okay, fine. We're going to let him buy time until he finds the open guy. Oh, we're not going to put 8 in the box? Okay. Well, then we're just going to rush for 321 yards on you, and it'll be over with.
And then about game 8, we're going to throw this other weapon in that maybe you guys forgot about. It's scary.
Yeah.
Everybody's wanting to stay away from Summit for sure. All right, let's take a look at this week's games. Brentwood, they had to reschedule the Dixon game. Dixon had some issues, so they rescheduled. Luckily, they both were off during our fall break week, so October 9th is the date. I believe they might play that Thursday night. Brentwood, number 6 in the latest AP poll. Henry County, always tough. Defeated Brentwood last year, I believe, 21-14. The only loss for Henry County so far is to Beach High School and Anthony Crabtree, and they are ranked number 9 in the AP poll. This is a good game.
Yes, Henry County is in 5A.
Right?
But yes,
Did I not say that?
No, I was just making sure when you said the number 9, because Brentwood's 6A. I didn't want
Obviously.
to be confused.
We have an educated audience here. They know
That's
that.
true. That's true. I just want to clarify. I think I'm glad. Not glad. That's not the wrong choice of words. I think the open deck last week for Brentwood was good. Got them time to heal up. They were already a little banged up against Brentwood Academy, and so I'm glad they were able to get that one because Henry County is a physical football team. Henry County did beat them last year. This one's at Brentwood, right?
At Brentwood.
We've talked about it for a lot of reasons. It's hard to win in Paris, but this is a good football team. Brentwood High's rested, though, so I'm excited to see what the Bruins look like come Friday night.
When you take that drive to Henry County, because I've made it from Sumner County a couple times, you feel like you're driving to Paris, France. I mean, it takes forever to get down.
There's no easy way to get there, and we've talked about it. You're not going to get any calls there. Like when you beat them, you better beat them cleanly because you're not going to get any help.
In a matchup of 0-3 teams and teams really desperately needing to win and probably looking at their schedules going, here's a chance to win. Centennial at home versus SIEGEL. SIEGEL had a loss 36-7 over Oakland last week, but they did lose earlier to Page 22-17, which I think bodes well for Centennial. Hopefully being at home will make a difference too.
Yeah, got to have a win. It was kind of the same way last year, and they did. That's Oakland's not known for taking it easy on
No,
people.
they're not.
So that score, I thought when you saw that one come across the Twitter feed Friday night, that's probably a little bit of an eyebrow raiser for you, wasn't it?
It was, but and I don't, not that I'm saying this happened, but in the times we're living in, who knows if they were full swing. I don't know.
Yeah. So it's a game Centennial can win. You nailed it. They desperately need to win it. But that SIEGEL, I don't know. Maybe they're getting better. I don't know.
I'll be interested to see your picks here in a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Fairview 3-0 versus Waverly 2-1. Waverly with wins over Camden and Hickman County. Franklin, which is our WCTV game of the week, 1-2 at 3-0 Summit. Again, we mentioned Summit number 2 in the latest AP poll. Here's what's interesting about this game to me. In the past, you would have said, no doubt this is a good old-fashioned smash mouth type of football game, but who knows? Air Webb And Eric Coleman could be on display, or it could be the ground and pound. Although, I'll ask Coach Webb about this for the coaches show this week. I'm wondering if he's a little disappointed the last 2 games they failed to get 100 yards of rushing.
Well, I think he's got to be, especially behind that offensive line. But you also got to do what they're giving you. So I think, who would have thought this 2 years ago? I think Summit will have more rushing attempts in this game than Franklin.
It's fantastic. Independence 1-1 at BLACKMON 1-2. BLACKMON, their only win over Coffee County, but they have losses, quality losses, I'd call them, Alcoa and Ravenwood. This was the one that last year to me made us realize, Independence, they are going to have a good team this year. Independence won that game last year 49-7. And it was a late score, I believe, when it didn't even matter. Obviously, it didn't matter pretty quickly in that game.
Flat got after him.
BLACKMON's, I'm sure they've circled that one and said, okay. So we'll see. Should be a good game.
Bring it.
Looking forward to it. Page 1-2 at Lipscomb Academy 0-2. Losses for Lipscomb Academy to Pope John Paul and Brentwood Academy. Obviously 2 pretty good teams. And then Ravenwood, this is our final game because Nolensville's off this week, versus Pulaski Academy. It's got a national type feel to it. It was 61-47 last year. Of course, that was the night that Andrew Mason set all kinds of records. Pulaski Academy, they've only played 1 game. They were down 21-20 at the half. They defeat Joe T. Robinson, 48-34. That's the number 1 team in 7A. Pulaski Academy is the number 1 team in 5A. And oh, by the way, that game was a matchup of 2 state champions last year. So should be a great game.
Should be a great game. I'm glad they've got at least 1 game on tape, Ravenwood that is, to watch, because they have changed. We know what they're going to be about, but that personnel changes over so quickly. So I don't know. How could it be any better of a game than it was last year? But I don't know. I like this Ravenwood team. Obviously, Pulaski Academy's good again. Coach, what's his name? Coach Kevin Kelly, is that his name?
Yes.
Coach Daniels is already getting his Kevin Kelly mode on, going for it on 4th and 2. This is going to be fun, man. I know this. Get there early. Buy your ticket on GoFan early.
Yeah, because if you get a ticket, you're getting in.
And be prepared to stay late like last year, because I think this game is going to be a long one. This is not going to be 17-10.
Looking forward to it. And we talked about this earlier off air, but Ravenwood had Franklin last week, and then now we're talking Pulaski Academy, Brentwood, IMG. That's a gauntlet right there.
Holy smokes.
Give it to Coach Daniels and Ravenwood, not backing down. All right, let's talk Pick'ems, Tate. It's time. And again, fans, please continue to vote. WCS CO Athletics. And I would encourage the fans to vote for all games, whether it interests them or not.
Yeah, of
because
course.
they're not all, I noticed some of the games have more votes than others. Vote for all the games that are on there. Make sure you do that. All right, last week, Dr. Qualls, yourself, and the fans all had a great week. Y'all were all 5-1. Which makes you and Dr. Qualls 12-6, the fans 13-5. I finished up 6-0.
You're on fire.
Thank you. 15-3. But again, I'm not getting cocky and overconfident.
No.
I'm just keeping my head down and going. So that leads us to this week's picks, and I'm going to let you go first, Tate.
Thank you.
I know you think I like to strategize who picks where, but hey.
You are there was some gamesmanship last week. That's okay. For those that watch all the way to the end, if you'll notice, you are the executive producer. So I guess you have that right.
Brentwood at home versus Henry County. Who you got, Tate?
Bruins. The Brew wins. My man number 4 is back. We're healthy. Brentwood.
I agree. I'm going Brentwood. Centennial at home versus SIEGEL. I'm picking Centennial. Tate?
Going Centennial.
Okay, so it's chalk so far. Let's see how
History
it goes.
repeats itself.
All right, Tate, you're up. Fairview versus Waverly.
I would, if my boat hat was over here, I'd probably put it on. That's how strongly I feel about this, but this one's not close. There was a time when Waverly and Fairview were neck and neck. No, this one's ugly.
Fairview rolls.
No, it's
the game is not even in doubt at the half. It's over.
I agree. Nardozzi. I feel sorry for Nardozzi. let me take that back. I don't feel sorry for him. His stats are suffering a little bit because they're beating people so badly.
That's a tough break.
Tough break.
mean,
well, I'm talking, you know.
Fresh legs, though, at the end of the year when it matters.
That's exactly
what
right.
I'm
And
looking
hey,
for.
that's what they care about. No individual goals for this year.
Franklin at Summit. Again, the WCTV game of the week. I'm going Summit in this one.
I'm going with the Spartans, too. I think they're really, really good.
Tate Independence at Blackmon. Your pick.
I think
This is where it could get different, I got a feeling.
I think history repeats itself again. I don't know if it's 49-7, but it's double digits. The Eagles get the win. They have no answer for Jackson Campbell. He's a dude, man. Independence wins up on the turf, and what is it? The SEC of high school football. That was tongue in cheek, but
Come on, give me
this
a break.
thing. This thing's bad.
Independence.
Yep.
So we agree so far. I'm up next. Page 1-2 at Lipscomb Academy, 0-2. As bad as I hate to do it, I'm going to go with Lipscomb Academy, but I think it's going to be a tight one. And I will say this about Page. I think their best days are ahead this year because they're playing a lot of young people. I think it's just a lot to ask to go play Lipscomb Academy on the road. So I'm going Lipscomb Academy.
I agree. I think Page is getting better. Funny that the quarterback is Jake McNamara. So maybe he's got some inside tips. I think they're heading in the right direction. He's going to be really good. This David Lipscomb campus school team's pretty good. They're better than last year. Luther Richardson's a really good quarterback. This is going to be fun watching those two guys go at it. But I'm going to go with David Lipscomb campus school.
So I will say this, and I like because you got the proper name. I appreciate that. I will say this, Paige. If that game's on the schedule next year, which I hope it's not, by the way, we'll talk about that some other time, is Page would win if they played next year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This
McNamara get rolling.
Yep.
They're going to have a really solid
might
team.
win. Hey, I didn't think they were going to beat the Siegel Beagles. So, I mean,
I hope you win this year, believe me.
that was a big win.
Ravenwood versus Pulaski. It's your pick.
I got to change this thing up a little bit. No, I ain't doing that, man. I think Trevor Andrews is that good. I hate to put it on. I'm not saying I put it all on him. I mean, it's going to be a team effort. It's going to be another crazy one. I think Ravenwood beats them.
I'm going Ravenwood as well. So this makes me happy. Number one, I feel like you've got this great knowledge.
Yeah, no.
So we picked exactly the same. And I also know, as of today, that I'll still be 3 ahead after next week over you because we have the same picks.
And but see, that's where I got to.
I mean, I'll give you a chance. You want to go back and change one, that's fine.
No, I don't. I feel good about all of them. I think the closest.
Are you sure?
I think the closest one's Centennial Siegel, but no, I stand by my picks.
Sounds great. Tate, as always, appreciate you being here.
Love it. Can't wait to talk about these games next Monday or next Wednesday.
Looking forward to it. Thank you for joining us for Sports Connection. We'll see you next time.